America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Board members, at this time, if I can get a motion to approve the agenda with an additional section for technology for Kim Bishop.
Make a motion to approve the agenda with the amendment for technology report from Kim Bishop.
Excellent. Can I get a
Second.
second? Got a board, first by Board Member Bowles, second by Board Member Dagenhart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Just making sure I try to keep everybody in one accord can be a challenge in and of itself. At this time, I will turn the floor over to Dr. Danita Dow-Revis for our honors and recognition.
All right, we are loaded with honors and recognition tonight, so we want to thank everybody for being here. So we're going to start first with our winners from the Little Read, and they competed in a writing and art contest. So we'll call them up and tell you a little about them then. Mackenzie Eichert from Bethlehem, Lillian Reedy from Stony Point, Janessa McCorkle from Ellendale. Y'all come on up.
Come on up, guys.
Dakari Land from Wittenberg, Natalie Hallman from Bethlehem, and Otis McNair from Sugarloaf.
Good job, guys.
Alrighty, so all the second graders in our district this year read a book called La Guitarrista by Lucky Diaz. And the book, they could tell you probably better than I, but it's about a little girl who perseveres with the help of and encouragement of her friends. So Little Read, just a little background, is an effort to promote reading, writing, creativity, and fun in our district, along with a couple others, participate in a partnership with Lenore Ryan. The kids all got free books from Lenore Ryan this year for the Little Read.
Great job.
So they read, study it with their teachers, and then they compete in a writing and an art contest. And from the students who win at the school level, their contest entries go to students at Lenore Ryan. And the students there in an education class pick our district winners. And so we have 2 of our district winners tonight. And some of the other ones we had who were able to be with us on Saturday, Dr. Bowles was there to help recognize them, and they got to meet the author then on Saturday. So we congratulate all 6 of our winners for writing and art categories.
Take your time. One more, you got celebrities here.
Paper.
Just to be clear, Danita, these are
Your lens is covered.
So these are district winners. We had each school got 3 nominees, you might call it. They were their school winners, and they all moved to the district competition. And so these were the picks by the Lenore Ryan students of the winners for our district. Good job. All right, so next we're going to honor the members of the West Alexander Middle School Battle of the Books team. And so we'll ask them and their coach, Aaron Lewis, to come on up.
Here comes Aaron.
And I would tend to agree that west is best. I would tend to agree with that.
I don't know if we're supposed
I
to
mean,
say that.
well, it's because I went there.
Yeah. Well, you just think it. I agree. No.
All righty. I'm going to read your names, and he's going to get you lined up for a good pick here. But if you'll just kind of raise your hand so folks know who you are. So we have Audrina Arnett, Lane Bumgarner, Sophie Black, Owen Crawford, Bryson Grenier, Ava Locklear, Coulter Minton, Aubrey Powell, Madeline Wingler, and Allison Barlow. And we want you to know that these students had to be knowledgeable about 20 books for the contest this year. They won the local battle and they finished second at the regional competition, which was a couple weeks ago. The students are able to get on the team through teacher recommendations, and they have to be experts on at least 5 of the books. So we are proud of all of our West Alexander Middle School Battle of Books champions. Good job.
Great job, kids.
Great job.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Bless you.
Bless you. Good job, guys. Thank you, Miss Rose. Thank you, Aaron.
I should say that Bethlehem Elementary won the elementary contest, but a lot of those students are on a field trip that's out of town, and so we will recognize them next month during the May meeting.
Sounds good.
All right, let's move on. Our next honorees are 2 Alexander Central High School students who have already gotten their summer plans made. Isaac Bowen and Jackson Ruff are headed to Governor's School. Come on up. Isaac is with us.
Great job, Great job.
And they will have 4 weeks of immersed learning in the natural sciences, which includes chemistry, physics, earth science, and more. Governor's School is one of North Carolina's proudest education traditions and has been around since 1963. It has a rigorous application and selection process, and we congratulate Isaac, who's with us tonight, and Jackson, who was the superintendent's choice for this year. Good job.
Congratulations, buddies.
All right, next we'll have Dr. Alicia Clure come on up. Dr. Clure is our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources and Auxiliary Services. And Dr. Clure recently completed the Aspiring Superintendents Program, which is organized by the North Carolina School Superintendents Association. She was joined by 39 school leaders from across the state for professional development and leadership, self-awareness, budgeting, and more. Former Alexander County Superintendent Jack Hope serves as the executive director of the superintendent organization, and the goal of the program is to help future leaders succeed. Dr. Klura has spent 16 years in Alexander County. Did I get that right? And this is her second stint with us. Prior to her years working in central office, she worked in the district, including serving as a principal at Hidnight Elementary. And we thank her for what she does. Good job. Let me backtrack a little bit.
Hey, Janessa.
Janessa is from Ellendale. Yeah. And she was one of our contest winners. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you brought your book. Can you show everybody that beautiful book, Janessa?
Yay, good job.
Isn't that the prettiest book, y'all? All right, so Janessa was a winner at her school level and then moved up to be potentially a district winner, and she was for the writing category, so we're proud of her.
Great job.
All right, hang tight, Janessa.
I'm glad you came. Let's get another picture. I think we should.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be phenomenal.
And we got all the winners.
I say girl power, too.
Yeah. It's a good looking book. Dr. Griffin can hold the book.
Perfect. You got it. She's got it. All right, everybody looking this way. One more time for me. One more time.
Good job. Great job, girl. Thank you so much.
Dr. Dow Revis does a great job of recognizing all of our standouts across the county. At this time, I get to recognize her. So Dr. Dow Revis is being recognized for communications and testing accountability as for our director for our district. She has received this past Friday 2 Blue Ribbon Awards from North Carolina School Public Relations Association. One was for a special project to combat vaping, which featured some videos from Alexander Central Principal Jacob Lale. The other award was for a writing series that included a look at cell phone use among teens and former Attorney General Josh Stein's efforts to combat teen social media addiction. She and Alexander County Schools were part of 35 districts statewide who earned a Blue Ribbon Award this year. So Dr. Dow Revis, we certainly are honored and certainly the things that you do for our district, and we want to honor you this evening too. So you get your picture.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job.
Somebody come take a picture of this thing. It'd be hard to do a selfie with that, huh?
It's just snap up on top. It's on. Yep.
You volunteered for something you didn't know how to do.
We gotta get
Oh, yeah, look at her.
She's, yeah.
I'm a counter. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm a counter.
You didn't even count the second time. 1, 2, 3, snap, snap. Great job.
Good job.
And at that time. That concludes our recognitions and honors.
Recognized everybody.
So unless you are here for the business part of the meeting, you are welcome to be excused.
You can stay if you want to.
You're welcome to stay if you'd like.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank y'all for
So which
coming.
campus are you gonna be in?
Heath Powell.
Hey, Heath
Heath Powell,
Powell,
thanks, man.
if you could stay for a little while, I have a,
Congratulations.
something I need to ask you, sir. I have a story I would like to share with the crowd.
Class of 97.
I did see Heath Powell in here.
Yes.
Heath Powell.
You know Jacob. You know the principals.
They don't want to leave either.
Yeah, right. Correct.
Feel like, should we leave or not?
So are we gonna watch the video for Mr. Graham? Jacob, now that you've gone Hollywood, are we gonna watch the video you're in?
Yeah. I think that should have been part of the presentation. Mr. Little, I think it should have been part of the presentation.
All right, it is always a privilege to honor and recognize children's accomplishments.
Yes.
And we will never know the impact of what that will have on them, the boost that it provides and offers them. And so I applaud our district for taking this amount of time. I mean, it's not enough. I mean, it's just,
worth it, yep.
there's not enough words. But in the effort of continuing on with our mission, gentlemen, I need to get a motion to approve the consent agenda. What is the pleasure of the board?
No public comment. Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, I got a motion to approve by Board Member Arguelles, second by Board Member Corey McLean. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. The next item on the agenda is our reports. And at this time, I will turn it over to Kathy Knapp, Head Start Director.
Good evening.
Hey.
Wanted to bring to the board tonight approval for a waiver for our non-federal share for school year 24-25. We met 94% of our goal this year. Therefore, we're asking for a waiver of $28,213 towards our non-federal share. Can I get approval?
Sure. We have heard from Ms. Kathy Knapp. What is the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to approve the request?
Second.
Got a motion to approve the request by Board Member Arguelles, second by Board Member Degenhart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Carries unanimously, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I believe at this time, we will hear a report from technology from Kim Bishop.
Chairman Reese, board members, and Dr. Griffin, would like to ask your approval to choose CDWG as our vendor for our Chromebook purchase for the 25-26 school year. We did an RFP. It was out there for 3 weeks. We had 4 bids, and they came back with the lowest cost per unit and also least cost.
I make a motion to approve the RFP. I second.
Got an approval by Board Member Vice Chairman Degenhart and Board Member Oxentine. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Carries unanimously, Kim. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is our CFO, Sharon Mahaffey.
The first item I'd like to discuss tonight is our supplemental funds for teacher compensation bonus. This is a bonus that we pay in June for teachers. Funds for this bonus are provided by the legislature each year. The bonus is permanent, but the amount of funds is not guaranteed. The bonus can be paid to certified teachers and instructional support personnel who are coded to a school. Funds cannot be used for assistant principals, or central office. To be eligible for the supplement, employees must be actively employed on May 16, 2025. The supplement amount is determined annually based on the state funding and the number of eligible employees. This year's allotment is $1,748,686. The amount must cover the supplement and benefits, and the maximum amount of the supplement is set by the legislature for each school system, and our maximum amount is $4,303. The funds were allotted for the first time in the 2021 school year, and we established the criteria for the bonus as follows. The teachers and instructional support personnel on the teacher salary schedule on steps 16 through 24 and step 26 or greater will receive the maximum allowed. The salary schedule has incremental steps from step 0 to 14. Employees on step 15 to 24 and step 25 and above receive the same amount every year. And that is to say that for those steps, so when you reach year 15 until you reach year 24, your salary is the same. Now you receive a, whatever the state percentage increase is. But until you reach step 14, you receive an increment each year plus the state percentage. And we've always felt that it was very unfair for these people in these steps, especially because there are more veteran teachers, to be stuck like that. So we have used these funds to give them an extra boost. The remaining funds will be divided equally among the remaining eligible employees. Okay, are there any questions about this bonus? Or I just wanted to make you aware that we would be paying this in June. And we will post this information on the website so that the teachers will be able to refer to it.
We like it when they make more money.
We do. Yeah.
Yes,
sure
they do too, I'm sure.
Time for vacation.
Wish we could do
Sure.
more.
Yes. We started this just about the time that we eliminated, the summer pay where you could only, you couldn't get 12 installments anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so June made a nice time to help
Sure.
people adjust to that.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next thing is we discussed in the work session, our spending seems to be pretty much on target. We did receive planning allotments last week, and in some instances, those were a little difficult to wrap our head around, the low wealth allotment. But we also lost funds in PRC 069, and at-risk students, and we'll begin to talk about how we're going to adjust for that. Okay. Now then, budget amendments. So I hope I don't get so many blank stares tonight. I hope.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
After our session.
You're just in my line of sight.
Oh, yeah, right, right.
Okay. Budget amendment number 9 is to the state public school fund. It is $510,824. Children with disabilities received an additional $122,153. We received school safety grants in the amount of $200,000. Transportation received an additional $195,349. And the state zeroed out our hurricane relief funds. They had allotted us $7,496 more than we had expenses to cover. This was for child nutrition, the state paid for their days that they lost for Hurricane Helene. And then drivers training received an additional $827. And finally, budget amendment number 10 is for a specific revenue fund, and this is the fund where we have our programs that generate their own revenues and also any grant programs. And the Head Start grant was had received permission to spend some carryover they had from last year, $28,725, and then our before and after school program received an additional $6,300 to pay bonuses to teachers. Okay. I will need approval for these minutes, these amendments. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay. Any questions, board members? Okay, we have heard from our CFO. I need a motion to approve amendments 9 and 10.
Make a motion to approve amendments 9 and 10 as presented by our CFO.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Got a motion to approve by Board Member Arguez, second by Vice Chairman Dagenhart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sharon. Now, the next item on our agenda is our Human Resources Report with Dr. Alicia Clower.
Hello and good evening.
Hello.
Hello. So you have before you the usual and customary personnel agenda. And this one includes the administrative contracts at the end. Does anyone have any questions?
No questions?
I would just like to take a second though and just recognize definitely Cam Gant and his contribution to Alexander County sports. He's been part of that program for a long time, so I just wanted to make mention of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Gant.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion.
Got a motion to approve by Vice Chairman Dagenhart,
Second.
second by Board Member Oxentine. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. The next item on the agenda is our esteemed superintendent, Dr. Griffin, with Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Chairman Reese and Vice Chair Dagenhart, members of the board. I have a couple of things for us, some opportunities that have happened since our last board meeting. We hosted Dr. Bill Daggett on March 13th, and then the 14th, that was for communities, our parents and community members on the 13th. And then on the 14th, all of our teachers, we did a district-wide professional development to where everyone came to the auditorium and listened to Dr. Daggett talk about the advancements in AI and really more about technology and just the changes that we've seen with our students in our world that we all live in. And I think it was eye-opening for some of the data and statistics that he used and information from his studies that he does constantly and has for years. But I thought it was real beneficial to us. I've gotten really good feedback from not only our faculty and staff, but from community members. And this work is ongoing. Just because we listen to that PD doesn't mean we're going to change things. And I tried to explain to our teachers and staff that doesn't mean we change tomorrow on how we do business, but we have to begin thinking about things a bit differently. Technology is here to stay, and it certainly has changed our world that we live in and will continue to change our world to which we adapt to each and every day. But some real good PD there. We followed that up with, we hosted actually Hickory City Schools in Ashe County, to which the three of our counties are working together with Dr. Daggett. So we followed that up with a training here in Alexander County with Specialist Thomas Hawkins, and that was at West Alexander Middle School. Thank you, Wes, for having us for today, for that day. But another real good PD with other school systems on trying to learn some of the advancements that we're going through. Several of our board members were in attendance there, and I just think it was very, very insightful information that we'll continue to expand upon as we move forward. On the April 4th, we had the Cougar Connect kickball tournament. Coach Gant was part of that, and his classes there from Alexander Central. We hosted South Caldwell and their classes here for that kickball tournament, and just a fabulous day. Next year, and Jacob Lale is out here, the principal. Certainly appreciate you and your staff doing what you do for that event. And Jessica is in the back, her staff, in making that happen. Probably, 500 people in attendance for that kickball tournament. And just watching our students interact with other students, the two schools uniting for that event, it just says a lot about our region, the competition we have, but we certainly want to compete heartily and on the athletic fields, but in the name of spirit and what we do, those schools come together, and we're grateful for that. So that's what it's all about. So great job to those that put that game on. On the April 7th and 8th, our school board actually did school visits that we've been doing semesterly, and this year fell on the 7th and 8th. On the 7th, we were able to invite some of our General Assembly members, Senator Eddie Settle and House of Representatives member Blair Edens were able to visit with us that day. We went around to several schools, spent around 2 hours back here at the central office having conversation about what we see in public schools and within our schools here in Alexander County. It was just a great day to listen to what the things that they deal with at the General Assembly, but for them to get to see hands-on some of the wonderful things that are taking place in our school system. So
great.
Hats off to those who hosted us. We were able to go to Sugarloaf and Alexander Central High School and Taylorsville Elementary. And then finally that evening, we culminated at Bethlehem Elementary School for their 100th year celebration. Principal Stephanie Reeve hosted that, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. They spent from around noon time with us until 8 or 9, about 8:30 that night when that event was over with. But I can't say enough about our representatives just listening to what's going on, and they can't say enough about what they saw within your buildings and within our school system in our county, from our community members to what's going on within our buildings. So extremely proud with that day. I'm grateful for the Board of Education for that day. And then the board got to go into all 12 of our schools and visit with our teachers and high-five kids. We actually played a game of dodgeball at night. And
You got me, Dr.
I
Griffin.
won, by the way.
Yeah,
in
you
that
did.
game.
One
But,
big.
it was just great to see our board members interact with our students. And I told them this, that I think our constituents got it right, because they loved being there and interacting with those kids. Their faces lit up. And they just really, really love being in those classrooms. So that's what it's all about, and that's why we do the work here within our building. So thank you, board members, for those 2 days. I believe it was a great time for our school system. And then the last thing, I wrote down one more event. Friday night, we hosted South Caldwell in a game of softball. And it's not every day that you get to have the number 1 ranked team in the state of North Carolina and the number 2 ranked team in the state of North Carolina at any event.
Yes.
So I know that all of our athletic teams do remarkable things, but it's not very often that those two things collide in a regular game. We ended up victorious in that game, but that's not what I'm proud of. What I'm proud of is the competition that took place on both sides of the ball. From not only our team and how they handled themselves, but South Caldwell and their coaching staff and their players. Those were great student athletes on that field. And it doesn't matter which uniform they put on, it was remarkable student athletes competing against one another, and I applaud both schools. So hats off to that, both programs. To have number 1 and number 2 in the state and within our conference says a lot about what's going on, and I'm very proud to be part of that. So it's a great job there. Some dates for upcoming events that we have going on. The 17th, we have an optional teacher work day. No, don't have a lot of cheers out there and people celebrating. And then the 18th, Good Friday on Friday, so we'll take that day off. That'll be a holiday. And then the following week, next week, is our spring break for our traditional schools. In our early college, they get off on Monday. And then they get to go back to school. They've had a spring break, so we kind of have to work around those college schedules. But I want to tell our faculty and staff for the majority of them, except for our early college, to enjoy next week and take a little time, take a deep breath. I hope it's going to be beautiful weather and get out and just relax. When we come back, we've got a lot of work to get done to close this thing out. On May 2nd is our Special Olympics, and that'll be hosted here at Alexander Central High School. I would love to see a great participation in that. That's a wonderful, wonderful day. And then finally, on the 9th, we have another optional work day. But the year is getting close to the end. I think we've accomplished a lot of great things, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So thank you very much.
Dr. Griffin, I gave you some kudos on Facebook, but I wanted to do it here tonight. Just your outstanding leadership in forging these relationships with our General Assembly, with our state representative and senator coming to Alexander County. Just tremendous, and that's on you, sir. And thank you so much for doing that. And our community needs to know how big of a big deal that is. And we appreciate you doing that and continuing to do that, build those relationships in Raleigh. So thank you so much.
That's certainly part of what we want to achieve. Our General Assembly members were gracious enough to give us their time. And honestly, when I try to call or have communications with them, that they're open to that. It doesn't necessarily mean that we always have all the right answers, but it's great to have somebody listening. So certainly appreciate that. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, and I'll add this too, and I'm sure that everybody, I can't speak for everybody, but I think that I sort of do, is that we had a good time at the school visits, right? Like that was not a chore, and I want the public to know, and our staff and the families, all of that. We had a great time in the schools, and we really do care about what's going on there. And those were a special couple of days, so I'm just grateful to get to be a part of it.
Good, thank you.
And I want to add one more thing to that, just because this comes from the competitive edge of mine. We went down to East Middle School, and they had a rocket competition, and I can promise you that this school board will have a rocket next year.
Yeah, okay.
And we will compete, and look, and I think speaking for all of us, anytime this goes to the high school, middle school, or elementary, anytime there's a competition,
Put us in it.
Put us in it, because we will build a rocket. And if I have to test it every day between now and this time next year, it will win. It will win.
I think there are age limits on energy.
There may be age limits, but I'm just saying that was a great event down there. A lot of fun. That was a good time. So again, anything that we can get involved in, I just think it's good for the community to see us being involved in that stuff. And honestly, I really think the kids will enjoy us competing against them as well. So it was a great time. So
thank you very much. That's all I had, Chairman.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, we will move on to the next item, unfinished business with Ms. Sharon Mahaffey, our CFO.
Sharon's always popular at these things. You do a good job, Sharon. She gets tired.
I was going to say, you're talking about being too old. Well, in federal programs, when you want to do something you're not quite supposed to do, but you want to convince them you can do it, you call it special circumstances.
special circumstances happens all the time.
I love it.
Okay, we have two policies up for second reading tonight. Policy 5022, registered sex offenders, and policy 5150, reporting to external agencies. And I received no comment or suggestions for these, so
you need a motion?
yes.
Okay. All right, board members, what is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Board Member Arguelles,
Second.
second by Board Member Bowles. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Okay, carries unanimously. Next item is new business.
We have 7 policies up for review next month, for the coming month. 3130, grouping for instruction, 4150, school assignment, 6120, student health services, 6140, student wellness, 6402, participation by historically underutilized businesses, and 9110, use and selection of architects, engineers, surveyors, and construction managers at risk, and 9120, bidding for construction work. I'll get input on these and bring them back next month.
Thank you, Sharon. All right, this concludes our agenda. Can I get a motion that we enter into closed session?
Make a motion.
Got a motion to approve by Board Member McLean, second by Board Member Oxentine. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. All right, we are in closed session.